some adjustments. Right. I could agree with them. They have to protect two class of people.
Right.
A, the statutory liabilities. B, staff welfare. These two things they could say ignore the accrual principle, go by the payment. But other things, if they accept IFRS, it will the income tax law will become much simpler, and in the long run, the government also will.
Correct. And so the reason legislation, the LLP, is it a great boom for the chartered accountants? How is it going to be helpful?
Yes, it will be helpful because you could always branch off into other activities. You can do consulting, you can do practice, and also the taxability. They have made it very clear. If only they have made it as a company, taxable entity as a company, it would have been much better. But the direct tax code, they said it will be treated as a firm, and therefore, to that extent, we are affected by it. And if they change it and shift the status from firm to company, then I will see there is a better advantage for CA professionals or any professional.
What's the suggestion for CA?
We could also join other professionals also we could take.
Correct. Integrate with the other professions. What is your suggestion for CA students to master the tax laws?
My first suggestion is read from the Act. And when you read from the Act, you will find certain new words always creeping in. You must take trouble to understand the meaning of those new words and the context in which it is used. And three, if there are any developments, case laws on that, try to capture it. And in my mind, every student who is preparing for direct taxes, even at the IPCC level, each chapter which he is preparing, if he can bring out a small 40-page notebook for each chapter, or depending on the size chapter, and have his notes in his own handwriting, and revise that notes at regular intervals, that's the best way in my mind to learn. And of course, remember, reproduce also. Volume is a big thing in CA. Income tax act is such a volume, and unless you do a constant update, it's going to be difficult. So one has to do it regularly.
And can you suggest how to crack the CA exams with no choice mode, which has been introduced by the ICA recently, sir?
See, no choice. First of all, if you want to test the ability of a student, I personally feel there should be some element of choice. What was there earlier, in my mind is a better system. But having introduced that, the student has to put in such extra effort and cover the entire syllabus. He cannot take a risk. Or rather, if he takes a risk, earlier it was a risk which he could afford to take, but now he cannot afford to take. Because if there is a question in the particular chapter which he has omitted to read, then two things will happen. One, he does not know the answer for the question. Second, it will have an impact on his performance on the other questions. So his mental stability will get disturbed. I'm talking about an average student. He will get disturbed and will not do his in the usual manner.
So thanks a lot for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Nice having a discussion.
Yeah, thank you.